right, so in this lesson, we are going to apply the laws of exponents to perform operations on expressions. So, recalling all your exponent rules, okay, your product. When you are multiplying and you have the same base, you add the exponents. Quotient, when you're dividing and you have the same base, you subtract top minus bottom. Okay, top exponent minus bottom exponent. A power to a power, you're going to multiply. You're going to distribute that into, and you're going to multiply the exponents. Excuse me. Power of a product. Okay, so once again, you're going to distribute that inside to the exponents. Those exponents are both ones, so it's going to be 1 times m, which is m. You're going to multiply the exponents for a power of a product. Power of a quotient. These right here kind of go hand in hand. You're dividing, you're going to throw it into each exponent. A to the m divided by b to the m. You multiply the exponents again. Anytime you raise something to the 0 power, it's always 1. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. A negative power, it switches location. Okay? So if it's a to the negative m, it's going to be 1 over a to the m. These two right here, well, actually, all three of these go hand in hand. When you have 1 over a to the negative m, it's going to switch locations, so it's going to go up top and be a to the m. Switch locations. When you're raising a fraction, a quotient problem, to a negative exponent, you switch the location. A over b to the negative m power is going to be b over a to the m, and then distribute that m inside. So b to the m over a to the m. All right, so let's apply some of these now. Simplify. Be sure to follow all the rules. Okay, you may have more than one to do. All right, so right here we just have parentheses. When we're doing that, we don't have any exponents, so we're going to multiply our whole numbers. 2 times 5 gives us 10. And now do your exponents. I have x cubed and x. I have, well, let's change that. I have y to the 5th y to the 5th y squared. And my third one is going to be z and z cubed. So I just highlighted those so you can see what's going on. So now when I do this, since they're the same bases, I add the exponents. So 3 plus 1 is going to give us 4. So that's going to be x to the 4th power. 5 plus 2 is 7. So y to the 7th power. That z is z to the 1st. 1 plus 3 is 4. So z to the 4th power. And that's the way you would simplify those exponents. Okay? So that's when we're multiplying. Now when we're dividing, okay, look at your whole numbers first. Okay, and I'm just going to go through and I'm going to highlight what would go together. That 5 and that 2 goes together. A cubed and a would go together. Then we have b to the 5th and b cubed would go together. And my last one, okay, so right there, that 5 halves cannot be simplified. So I'm just going to leave it as 5 halves. All right. Oh, not a, 5 halves. And since we're dividing, we do top exponent minus bottom exponent. So 3 minus 1 is a squared. 5 minus 3 is b squared. And 2 minus 1 is c. Now you could either have it written like that, or you could say 5a squared b squared c all over 2. Both of these are the same answers. You would want to just make sure you knew that they could be written in both directions. All right, now for C. Okay, let me circle that. I changed colors beforehand. Oops. So I need to distribute, or you can simplify. When you have parentheses, see if you can simplify anything inside first. The only thing that will simplify is that 4 over 8. And 4 over 8 reduces to 1/2. So it's going to be xy, 1xy, over 2z. And we're squaring that. That 1 can pretty much go away because you know that if it's a 1, if there's nothing there, we automatically know it's a 1. So I'm going to go ahead and take that away. Okay? And we've already simplified as much as we can inside, so we cannot do any more. All right, so now I need to distribute that exponent to every single exponent inside. And since there's no exponent, we know there's a 1. So it's going to be x squared, y squared, 2 squared, z squared. And that 2 squared is 4. So your answer is going to be x squared, y squared, over 4, z squared. And that's your final answer. Okay? Let's look at some more. D. 2m to the 0 power n to the 6th power divided by 3n to the 5th. Well, what's going to happen with that 0 power? It turns that m into a 1. So that just goes away. And you're going to be left with 2n to the 6th over 3n to the 5th. Okay? Simplify those exponents. 6 minus 5, because they go together. 6 minus 5 is 1. So since 1's positive, we know that it's going to stay in the numerator. So 2/3 n, or 2n over 3. Both of these answers are correct. Okay? Ooh, E, we have a bunch of weird looking stuff. Let's look at this. Okay, since these exponents are negative, they're going to automatically switch locations. So that 7 stays there. X to the negative 5th is going to come down here and say x to the 5th. They change locations. 3 to the negative 1 power, so it moves up. Y stays at the bottom because it's to the 1st power. Z to the negative 4th comes up top, becomes positive 4. All right, now just simplify it. 3 times 7 is 21. Z to the 4th over x to the 5th y. And that's as far as you can go. Now remember, if you have any questions, please be sure to write those down on your notes so that we can go over them at any time. All right, so this stuff in here, simplify what's inside the parentheses before you raise it to the power. That's going to make your life a lot easier. So we have 2m to the 4th times 2m to the 4th n to the 4th. All right, so first of all, let's start with that. This 2 goes with this 2. Now we're multiplying all that stuff. This m goes with this m. Remember, if they're the same base, you're going to add the exponents. This n goes with this n. So let's first of all simplify that. So I'm going to get 2 times 2 is 4. M to the 5th power. N to the 8th power. All over m n to the 4th. All that raised to the negative 3 power. All right. So I'm going to look and see what goes together. I don't have another whole number, but my m's, they go together. And my n's go together. Since we're dividing, we're going to subtract top minus bottom. So I have 4m, 5 minus 1 is 4, 8 minus 4 is 4. And all that's going to be raised to the negative 3 power. Okay, since that's raised to the negative 3, it's going to be written as 1, 4, m to the 4th, n to the 4th, cubed. And that's going to be 1 over 4 times 4 times 4, 64, m to the 12th, n to the 12th. And that's your final answer. Okay, once again, if you have any questions, please be sure to write them down. Well, last example. It looks like a doozy. Let's do it. Well, first of all, we're going to need to get rid of this negative exponent. So I'm going to move it downstairs. I'm just going to rewrite it. If there's negative exponent, I'm going to switch its location. So I know I'm going to have a big fraction. 2b's to the 4th stays up top. C squared goes to the bottom. This right here is going to go to the bottom as well. Now down here, a to the negative 2 is going to move up top. A squared. B to the 4th stays on the bottom. All right, now I'm going to get rid of that exponent, that to the 4th power. All right, so to do that, I'm going to have 2 b to the 4th a squared over c squared. 2 to the 4th power is 16. B cubed to the 4th power, b to the 12th, c to the 8th, and then b to the 4th. All right, I'm going to get all my like terms together now. Okay, so it's going to be 2 b to the 4th a squared over 16 c. Well, let's go in numerical, in alphabetical order. B to the 12th, B to the 4th. So that's going to be B to the 16th, C to the 10th. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what goes together. I'm going to get my handy dandy highlighter out. 2/16, that can be simplified. My next one is my B's. And I don't have any more A's or C's, so they're pretty much stationary. So 2 over 16 reduces to 1/8. So I'm just going to draw an 8. And we know there's a 1. B to the 4th over B to the 16, top minus bottom. So 4 minus 16 equals negative 12. So that's going to be B to the negative 12, A squared over C to the 10th. Can we have that B to the negative 12 power? No. So it needs to change locations. So my final answer is going to be A squared over 8 B to the 12th, C to the 10th. And that's your final answer. So like I said, if you have any questions, please be sure to write those down on your notes so we can discuss them next time we meet in person or on the internet. Thank you.